Right. You know there was a direct from the right out. Oh wow.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our press conference this morning. We're going to go ahead and get started, so please feel free to make your way around the room to talk to the coach and to the players. We will go for approximately 45 minutes, wrapping up about 9:15. If you have any questions or need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out to any of our volunteers. We'll also give you a 5-minute notice when we're just about ready to wrap up. So thank you again, and have a good morning.
Right? Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, you used to be able to send out to you guys to recruits.
Yeah.
So,
Well, Mike, you've been here before, obviously, these kind of games, but not as a coordinator. I guess how's this feel to be here and get this experience going?
it feels great. I mean, it was yesterday was a fun time to get here and travel, and obviously it's fun for us to have a reunion of sorts with the players and all the coaches to catch up on how our best Christmas was. And, but honestly, being here, I was ready to come back. It was a great time away, but it's time to get back to work. One thing I do feel so far to this point is that this is the most prepared I've ever felt as a coach, and even as a player. The 9 years I've been in bowl games, and if you're not, I attribute that 100% to Coach Larson and laying out a great plan for us. And then really the time that we got in Boise up to this point was outstanding, and also these players, the way that they competed in practice, and extremely spirited, really fast. We were ready to play games, but really at the end of the 23rd, the morning of the 23rd, I felt like we could play a game on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. So the game plan was there. Obviously now the big challenge is, the most important thing now going forward is what we do here. Because we have an opportunity to capitalize on some really good preparation leading up to this point, and we're looking at that big crescendo moment in the 24th of the season. We continue the preparation. That's obviously our goal.
You guys had been building so nicely on offense. You have the 8-game win streak, and then you have to take 3.5 weeks off. What type of challenge is that? How do you try to keep that momentum rolling?
Well, I think the biggest thing is the way we practice. We practice really like we were getting ready to play another game to keep that rhythm. And I thought that was a really good idea and kind of a mindset and a theme that Coach Larson laid out for us. We treated that last week in particular as if it were truly a game week. Obviously, we stand with the actual game. We didn't have one. Our game was Christmas Eve, but which is in a sense it's almost mentally similar to playing a football game. It's the week, the weekend reward for what you work you put in. So I think for us, just getting back today, fast practice, guys flying around, you're gonna have a chance to see the retention of the knowledge. You have some really good stuff in. Have a chance to get a little creative with some of our game plan. But at the end of the day, we're gonna do what's gotten us to this point, and that's having a physical rushing attack and going against one better. That's fronts in the country. And certainly we're the best Mike linebackers, the best Mike linebacker in the country, and also doing a good job with both football. That's gonna be our goal. Like this every week. Have a chance to do that.
Mike, it's first time we've had the chance to talk to you since Jay obviously announced you said leaving for the NFL draft. All season long you kind of compared him to guys like Stephon Taylor and saying that he needed to have a chip on his shoulder the whole season. Has he been able to do that to this point? And where does he rank in terms of backs that you've coached?
Well, first off, I just want to just make it known that I'm so proud of Jay and not only what he accomplished on the field this year, but also what he accomplished off the field. He's a great teammate. He's a guy that when I come to work every day and I see him, he puts a smile on my face and I put a smile on his face. There's a great relationship there with him and the coaching staff and with the other players in this team, which you don't always see with your superstar players on your team. That's the first thing. Is he's a tremendous young man. He's a tremendous high character individual that's grown a ton throughout the course of this year and obviously throughout the course of his career at Boise State. In terms of his legacy, I mean, he's still got one more, and I think that's the thing he's the most excited about. And he had his best week of practice leading up to the 23rd. He's got a little something to prove himself. And so, we'll be able to hopefully recap an unbelievable career with a great finish. That's what we're looking for him and obviously for us as a football team. But in terms of where I see him, I mean, he's definitely one of the more physically gifted. His size, his stature, his ability to extend runs, and create after maybe what the play was designed to get. It's one of the best that I've ever been around. I think he's a starting NFL tailback. I really do. In his first 2 years, he's very intelligent. People don't realize how intelligent he is. We ask him to pull back a lot, both in passing and protection game. And obviously, we line him in different spots. We just line him up with a guy and tell him just to take the football and run with it. We ask him to do a lot. He never has any problems. I mean, I don't think he's had a missed assignment or a medal area the entire season. You guys know how many reps he's played. So he's played a whole lot of football. So I think he's a starting NFL tailback. I really do. He's got body type. Shown that he's versatile enough to hold up throughout the course of the year.
You mentioned, go ahead.
So, staying with Jay, when did you find out? Were you involved in that input at all? And I guess just your initial thoughts once he actually said that he's going to do this.
I mean, I knew all along. I didn't know per se, but you just know the nature of that position in particular. You put together, your film is your resume. What you do on tape is your resume. I don't think that Jay could have put together a better resume. I mean, I don't know that there's ever been a more versatile season, both as a pass catcher, as a protector, as a running back, than what Jay was able to put together this year. I think it's underappreciated, to be quite honest. As much as his name's talked about, I think on the national landscape, I think he's been underappreciated because he's put together a great resume. And it's not just what he does statistically; it's what he does without the football. It's not just without the football. And so I've been really proud of what he's been able to accomplish this point. Like I said, the most important thing going forward is what we do on the 31st, and that's the big moment.
Speaking of proud, we talked a lot about Grant, but after that Air Force game, there was a lot of people that wanted him benched, and I know we've talked about it, but just to see him get a chance to finish his career on this type of stage and this type of game, to know what he's gone through and kind of lead this offensive turnaround. Just your thoughts on what he's been able to do.
Well, it's been nothing short of an incredible turnaround. But here's the thing. I mean, I've always known that Grant was a very physically and intellectually gifted quarterback. Even when he first got here, I was very impressed with his ability to have the ball go where he wants it to go, take off and run when he needed to, make some things happen when things aren't perfect. So, for him, really the only 2 games we've had has been the turnover issue. But I mean, he's done such an incredible job of taking that to heart. You turn the ball over multiple times in games, you can't win. You're not going to win. We asked that of our quarterback position. And so he's taking that to heart. He's practiced that way. He's played that way. The other thing about Grant is just what we're trying to instill here at the quarterback position. We talked about the characteristics of Boise State quarterback. It's hung in our quarterback meeting. He truly personifies all 5 of those characteristics. And for those, it's one thing to have characteristics and traits on the wall, but it's another thing for young quarterbacks like Alex Ogle and Ryan Finley to be able to see it personified, to see it lived out. He's showing off on those characteristics, and I'll tell you what, I couldn't be more proud of him.
Did you guys ever consider benching him, or was there ever talk? Is this the right thing to keep him in there after that game?
He absolutely needs to take care of football next season. That was we told him. Coach Arson and myself, we had a great sit down, very much a serious sit down. And we said, if we turn the ball over to the quarterback position 4, 5, 6 times, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to move on. And that's the challenge that we laid. So the thing that Grant took to heart is that he needs to throw every ball in the air like it's covered by Richard Sherman. A lot of times you get a scout team look and stuff wide open, so you get kind of a little bit complacent with your ball placement. He took that to heart, and every rep that he took was highly contested.
We've asked you about Scooby right back in Boise, but you've had more time to study him. What type of challenge are you guys facing when you go out there against him?
That guy right there doesn't stay blocked. Their scheme frees him up a lot. It's a 30-step type scheme. Yeah, I think for him, he's a tackle machine, a turnover machine, tackle for loss machine. I think that we have to do a good job within our schemes, within our technique of getting to the second level. He really is a special player. If you don't climb to the second level, he's going to have is to just run of the mill 17 to 25 tackles a game and 5 or 6 TFLs and 2 sacks. And that's a big amount on base for him this season. So the thing I respect most about him is his effort. A lot of times you have you look at a big name player out there and you watch the tape and you're like, that guy's lazy, or that guy, he's really talented, but he doesn't play hard. So, everything that he's got this year, he's earned. Everything. Because he truly plays whistle to whistle. He plays extremely hard. He plays fast. If he misses a tackle, he always finds himself back in on the fray. And that's the thing I respect about him.
So with your offensive line, there was a lot of talk coming into the season about them. 3 new starters, 2 in different spots. How impressed have you been with the offensive line? And I guess in this matchup going up against him, what kind of challenge is that going to be for them?
It's going to be a tremendous challenge. I'm really proud of those guys. Marcus Henry's done a great job. Having Reese Arbo back has been huge. The thing that I'm looking forward to the most is how we're going to respond to kind of our below-average performance in the running against Fresno State. You got to think about it. For us, where we want to be on offense, that wasn't our standard. We weren't able to finish the game the way we want to finish it. And that was a credit to Fresno's front. They played very well that night. But we're facing a piece of a different color in this Arizona defense. We understand that challenge, but I think the number one thing that we need to establish that we can play with these guys up front. It's a great challenge. They're a really good defense. But also, if you look at it, both teams are coming off somewhat disappointing week 13 games. For us, we felt like we started the game right, we didn't finish the game right. So there's that bad taste in our mouth. And, it's kind of like us having a chip on our shoulder. You think Arizona's got the same exact deal. Anytime you lose a championship game against a really good team that you beat earlier in the year, you're going to be a little salty the rest of the next 3 weeks. You have to play first. So for us, I think it's really important to get that chip on our shoulder and take what we learned from the Fresno State game and try to apply it here.
Mike, what have the past Fiesta Bowl victories meant for this program? What do you think one would mean for you guys, a young staff that, you said it last week that you're only, on the cusp of what you think you can become as a program?
Well, the thing, first and foremost, this is a unique deal. This team's different than those past Fiesta teams. Both the makeup of the team, the journey, how we got here. So what we're trying to do is carve out our own niche. Obviously, as a 2014 edition, it's not just another Boise State team. Here they are, hold on back to the Fiesta Bowl. Here comes Statue of Liberty for another touchdown. We got to create our own identity. We've done that throughout the course of the year. And really, what our identity's been, our calling card has been, is hard work. We knew going into this year we weren't going to be the most talented team, on our schedule. We weren't going to be able to just show up and beat teams. And so we've had to get to work, and that's been really the mantra of this football team this season is we have to do everything we can to outwork our opponents between the Sunday and Friday leading up to the Saturday. And I think obviously those games have been incredibly important for the national brand of Boise State. We want to do everything we can to take that brand and further that brand. And there's no better place to do it than on the field in a great game, a game that's going to be watched by the whole country. So we got to put together a great performance for that reason, because we want to build this program into, something that's never been done here. I don't know what that looks like, but the most important thing is what happens on 12/31. That's what we're trying to do.
5 losses. Peterson leaves last year. I mean, people were worried, which direction this kind of program was going. Maybe after the Air Force game, they're wondering that again. New staff, the way it's all come together, and here you guys are so quickly in the first year. I mean, you surprised it happened this fast, or how do you kind of look at what you guys have been able to do in such a short amount of time?
Well, I mean, the thing is I didn't know even the night before the Ole Miss game. I'm sitting there, and you don't know. You just don't know. Everybody's asking me how you guys look. I don't know. We're playing really good defense out of that, and I think we got some good parts, but you don't have a chance to see it until you go out there and actually see your guys play, until you're calling plays for those particular guys. But I think just the journey that we've been on this year, I think that's what's been special. Obviously, the end result when in a game like this, unfinished business. I think that says a lot to what the guys have done along the journey and really the process that led to this point. And that same process has been various to this league in this game. But yeah, I mean, I think obviously it's been a little bit surprising for some fans, but we were just trying to accomplish our goals. That's what our accomplishment is now. Our biggest goal.
And you personally calling the plays now, you mentioned getting creative with the playbook and stuff. I mean, how fun has this been for you to be able to actually finally get to make a game plan up and have it work out offensively how you've wanted to so far?
Well, it's been really fun. I think the best part about it is that I feel like I'm surrounded by really good people. Starting with the head coach, and just his experience and being able to let insight to me, what we do offensively, and then really our assistant coach. This is a group thing. We put it together, but I like it because we're all coming from different backgrounds. Myself coming from an NFL style West Coast offense with verbiage that's 27 words long per play, and then trying to condense it down and play fast. And, we've been able to mesh and roll together. And to me, that's been the hallmark of Boise State offense for so many years. To really take the foundations and the principles that I've played in, but then apply them and keep them relevant for years forward.
You mentioned Ryan Finley. Can you just talk about where he was at this stage of his career, and then also the tight end that's from here?
So Ryan Finley had probably the best 2 weeks of practice. And that to me, that might be the most important thing. Is what you do spring play yourself into the next season. I think for Ryan, he took those. I challenged him. Coach Martin challenged him. What can you do in the next couple of weeks to give us confidence? Because right now, you're really starting the competition. He did a great job. He played really well in the Air Force game. He was a big shot, smart play. He's tall, he's athletic, to make all the throws. I think just as soon as he can truly trust his
at the same time, I feel like I also try to lead by example on the field. Like when we need something and everyone's looking at somebody to make a play, I want to be that guy who can make that big play for our team and just be able to continue to be that workhorse for this team. That's really what I strive to do every time I touch the field.
Kind of inevitable though that you and Stevie at some point will hook up. He'll tackle you or something like that.
I mean, it's inevitable that we'll see each other on the field just because he's always around the football. But my mindset is I don't care whoever it is. I'm not trying to get tackled by anybody.
How's it going, Jay?
Thank you.
Following the announcement you made the other day, do you think this game will be different at all for you? I mean, you're obviously going to be the guy that's playing in the team that has announced he's leaving for the NFL. Do you think this game might be any different at all for you?
I just think maybe it's during pregame, I'll take it on in that this is going to be my last game, at Boise State Bronco. But once it's game time, you just got to treat it like any other game. Like this is just another week, another championship that we have. Because I think that if I take it in any other way than that, then I might get too over anxious during the game, and that could cause me not to play as well. I think, just having that perfect balance of just a little bit of anxiety and just a little bit of just ready to play and just having that perfect balance. And I think, that will be helpful in being able to have a successful game on the ground.
Coach Sanford said that he personally feels more prepared for this game than any other bowl game as a coach or player he's ever been. Players feel that way as well, and if so, why?
I think that definitely the players, everyone on the team just has a confidence about us right now, just because of where we've been over this past year during the season. We've had games where we started slow and we're still able to pull those out. We've had games where we started fast, and so having that in our mix, we've had games that we've lost bad and learned from those mistakes, and having all of those put together and be able to accomplish the Mountain West Championship and to be rolling right now and to know that our offense is clicking and our defense is clicking, I think there's definitely a confidence right now going into this game that, hey, this is a team, Arizona's a team that's definitely beatable, and that, we have an opportunity to come out here and make sure that we get a win.
What does this stage mean to you in terms of, national stage? I mean, honestly, you might be looking to improve your draft stock. I don't know, but I mean, this is a chance for you to play a Pac-12 team, a tough team. You said it about the opener as a chance for you to prove yourself against an SEC team. So, what does this stage mean for you and your goals?
I mean, this is a huge stage. The Fiesta Bowl, one of the New Year's Six bowls. I mean, for Boise State to be back in this bowl game, this is just a great accomplishment for us. We know it's not done. We have to make sure that we get a win. For me, this is just a blessing. This is what I always dreamed about coming to Boise State. For it to be my last game here and to be able to, have this stage to where I can prove a lot, not only myself but also the team. I think this is just a real big opportunity for myself and for Boise State to just show what we can do.
You always talk about being motivated and having a chip on your shoulder and proving people wrong. I mean, just one, kind of like Jay said, but one final chance for you to go out there and kind of prove something.
Yeah, I'm excited. Arizona's a great team. They do a lot of great things on defense. And so, to be able to play a defense led by, one of the best players on defense in the nation, it's an exciting challenge for myself, for my O-line, for the quarterbacks and the receivers. We're excited on offense to play at Arizona and to be hopefully to be able to execute when it comes down to game time and make big plays.
What was I saw your picture on Instagram or Twitter or something with your whole family while you were back home. What was it like going home for a couple of days, especially with the news and everything the last week or so?
It was good. I mean, being able to make that decision and going home and seeing my family, I mean, that was the first time I think that my whole family's been under the same roof in a while, just because my dad travels a lot and I'm always gone. And so for us to be able to spend that time during Christmas time and just a time when you really just cherish the family that you have, it was just a great feeling. And just to have that decision out of the way and just focus on just the time spent with the family, it was just the best feeling.
Have you decided on representation?
I believe that we have a representation that we're going to go with. That we'll be letting them know either today or tomorrow.
What was that process like, talking to agents and just that whole process of trying to go through that?
I mean, it was kind of like recruiting all over again, in a sense, just because you get to hear everyone's pitches. It was interesting just because, this is something that my family's new to, but at the same time, we got a lot of help from Matt Miller's family, because he's going through the same thing. And we were just able to just learn how to do it as time went on. I really credit my mom and my dad just because they did such a great job. Even though this is new to them, they did such a great job. And, learning how to, ask the right questions and just being able to take on the process and do it the right way. And so credit to my mom and dad for that, for sure.
When did you develop kind of your physical running style? I mean, I talk to everybody about it and they say doesn't shy away from contact, wants to hit people. I mean, as a kid, you don't grow up wanting to run people over, do you?
No, I mean, I was scrawnier when I was younger. I was smaller. I didn't really get my size until my senior season, and even then, I wasn't really into the contact as much. But as time kind of went on, and when I first started playing in college, you realize everyone on this level is physical. You know, everyone on this level can play, and you kind of build a physical mindset about you. During my whole football career, I've never wanted to be tackled. That's always been my mindset. You never want to get tackled. When it came to college, it just started to build a physical mindset where, hey, let's dish out some punishment too. I started getting stronger in the weight room. I started, working harder during the off season and was able to build a frame that can withstand punishment and that can give out punishment. And so, being able to do that, it's really just been a huge part of my game, and I definitely enjoy, bringing contact on the field.
You guys have gotten so much better in the red zone from the beginning of the season. Really struggled there. Now I think you guys have scored 44 straight times in the red zone. What changed? And that's kind of your time down there.
Yeah, the red zone is a place where our offense really needs to be successful. You kind of saw that in the Ole Miss game. We were in the red zone, I think it was maybe 2 or 3 times, and we didn't come out with any points. That stat alone really showed in the outcome of the game, because you don't know what would have happened if we were able to accomplish getting out points on those trips. So, that's always been a pressure point. Every time during the week, Coach Sanford is always stressing, make sure that when we're in the red zone during the red zone period, that we're executing, because those are very critical times in the game where you really need to make sure that you come out with the points and you maximize the time that you're in there and make sure that you're executing.
Jay, the offensive line was a lot of question marks coming into the season. 3 new starters, the other 2 guys switched spots. What have you seen from that offensive line this year, and how strong have they been? And I guess I know you won't be here next year, but all of them coming back, how excited are you for their future too?
Yeah, so those guys have really just continued to improve each week, and I think if you watch the film, you'll see that improvement up to this game. And for those guys to really just continue to gel, even though this was like their first year starting, kudos to those guys. Kudos to Coach Huff. They've done a great job, opening holes for me all year, keeping Grant protected. And so I think that the future for these guys is bright, just because, all of them will be back next year. They'll all have this 1 year of experience under their belt. They have experience of being in a big stage like the Fiesta Bowl. And so I think next year they'll be one of the premier lines in the country.
Jay, what do you watch film Arizona's defense stand out to you about the school?
He's an intense player. He plays really hard. You can tell by his team that they really rally around him. You can tell that those guys want to emulate his style of play and that they want to play just as hard as him. And so I think that he's a great symbol for their defense. He's a great leader, and it'll be great. It'll be a great challenge. December 31st.
I know everybody talks to you guys beating up, like in terms of him tackling you or whatever. That Mike linebacker, technically, everything goes right. You guys will probably take care of him in the blocking scene. But what about like blitz pickups or whatnot? You've been so sound in that. He's got 14 sacks, and I think maybe the most exciting meeting might come in that fashion between you two.
Definitely. He does a lot of great things.
How's it going, Grant? Good. Well, I know we talked to you, a lot about kind of how you got to this point in Boise, with to be sitting here and with everything you've gone through, and just to see your name on that card right there and know what's ahead for you this last game. What's your feelings right now?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that yesterday. We arrived and just trying to take everything in. This is a really cool experience. It's a very special game to play in, especially my last one here. So I'm just trying to take everything in. It's kind of surreal being here, but at the same time, it's a great place to play and to finish my career out of Boise State. I couldn't ask for a better finish.
You mentioned the quarterback pictures on the wall and stuff in the room, and you win this game, they're going to put yours up there. You thought about that yet, or just kind of your legacy, despite only being a year and a half, whatever it's been, could still be as big as some of the other great ones that were here?
Yeah, I don't know if I thought about too much of the legacy, but just to be even mentioned in the names like the Kellen Moore and Jared Spransky, Bart Hendricks, Taylor Carr, Brian Dinwiddie, those guys, it's pretty remarkable. I never expected, for myself to be even kind of in the same conversation. So, it's kind of a privilege for me. I'm pretty lucky to have that. So, that's a little surreal, but at the same time, it's kind of cool.
After that Air Force game, there were fans wanting you benched and students probably booing you when you walked to class. What was kind of just your thought after that game, and how were you able to do what you've done since then?
Yeah, luckily I had all online classes. I didn't have to go through campus. But it was hard. I think, for a few days there after the game, I just, had to get my mind right for the next week. And going into that next week, I just wanted to get out to practice and kind of just move on. And once we got that Tuesday practice out of the way, I felt a lot better. But it was hard for a few days there. Just, I expect a lot out of myself, and I just wanted to get back out playing football again.
Coach Sanford basically said that they set you down and said if things don't change, there will be a change. I mean, what you take away from that conversation where they basically challenged you and basically told you your spot was in jeopardy if things didn't improve?
It was a short and sweet meeting. I don't know how long it was, maybe 5 minutes, but yeah, they basically said, hey, if this continues, we're going to have to make a change. And I knew that, going into it. And they knew that I knew that. So it was just good that everybody's on the same page going forward. And we needed to have a meeting like that where we put it all out there. And luckily I was able to rebound from it.
You mentioned the Reno game being one of your favorite games. That next week there was all eyes on you. And on the first pick, is he going to get pulled? I mean, there was just so much going into that game. For you guys to win that thriller like that and then do what you did, I mean, was that the game, or was there a turning point maybe where you did start to feel like, okay, I've got it back, or it's clicking now?
Yeah, I don't know if that's when I got it back, but I definitely had a lot of fun that game. I just didn't really, care what other people thought. I didn't care, how I performed. I just wanted to go out there and do the very best I could and just cut it loose. And that was just an emotional game. I know for our team, just rebounding and winning a game like that, it was very emotional for us. And just the way we finished that game and really how we finished the season, kind of goes back to that turning point.
How did you change your season and thus Boise State's season? I mean, it sounds so simple by just saying, you need to stop turning the ball over. But, how do you do that? How do you go through that?
It's hard. I think that Air Force game was kind of the turning point in our program in terms of, fixing the complacency that we had. I know we kept saying it over and over. We were getting complacent. We're entitled. We think for Boise State we're going to step on the field and win. That's not necessarily the case at all. I mean, you see every week there's upsets in college football, and if you're not ready to play, if you're not prepared, you're going to get beat. And so for us, that Air Force game was finally like, okay, that's it. And we finally realized that we're going to get beat by anyone if we don't come out and play the very best we can. So I think for our team, we needed that, and for me personally, I needed that. And it was finally time just to get our mindset right for the rest of the season.
Has your bowl preparation this year differed from anything you guys have done in the past? And Sanford was just saying basically feels like this team is more prepared than any team for a bowl game he's ever been on. So have you guys done anything differently, or why do you think you're in such a good position?
Yeah, I think we've prepared a lot. I've never prepared this much before. I thought, having this later game, we have a little more time off. And we did. We had some time off to, get our bodies right. But we practiced a lot. We've met a ton. And so we're definitely prepared. I felt like we could have played a game last week with how much, time we put in already. And so it's nice to have this week, our normal game weeks leading up to the game. We still have a lot of time to polish things up and focus on the details, but definitely a lot of preparation time.
There was a lot.
What does it feel like to be here? I mean, I know you guys have been here for maybe 24 hours, if that, but not even that. But what does it feel like to be here? Is this a different feeling at all than any normal road trip, obviously?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I think just having the game, still a few days out, and being here, and then just being at the festival. I know stepping off that plane yesterday, it was kind of surreal. I said goodbye to my parents and family on Christmas, and I'm going to the festival. And they're coming here, in a couple days. So it's just cool to be in the spot and see here, and to be even mentioned in the same realm as those other quarterbacks that have played in this game is crazy to me. I never expect out to be in this position.
So did you have the band and the red carpet at your gate, or were you just all kind of by yourself, just walking out?
Marcus on my plane.
Okay.
We all kind of just walked out there and tried to.
We saw your picture with the offensive lineman, or somebody posted a picture with all the offensive linemen and you. Those guys had a lot of pressure coming into this season. 3 new starters. The other guys switched spots. How have you seen them kind of live up to the challenge? I know early on maybe it was a little bit of a struggle, but it seems like they've gotten in a pretty good groove this year.
Yeah, I remember after that Ole Miss game, we're on the bus to the airport, and I texted them like, "This is going to be a great season." Obviously I didn't know how great it was going to be or if we'd be here, but I just felt something different about those guys. They had that old school mentality about being physical up front, kind of that old line we used to have here. Back when I watched them on TV, it's just very impressive. And for those guys to gel together like they have this year, I couldn't thank them enough. Obviously, they control our offense. I mean, if they're doing their job up front, Jay's finding holes to run through, they're protecting me, we can be very effective. They definitely control all that.
Because you'd already committed before the second Fiesta Bowl, right?
Yes.
So I know it was 4 or 5 years before, but what did the first one mean as far as your recruitment and things like that? And what does that game mean to Boise State and why players come here?
Yeah, I think everybody kind of says that first one put me on the map, and it did. I think obviously everybody kind of noticed that game as one of being the best ones. So that's when I kind of sparked an interest in Boise State. But that second one, being committed was special. I was watching that on TV. Was pretty cool.
Grant, with Jay in pass protection, I mean, you have a guy like Scooby that gets to the quarterbacks like 14 sacks or whatever this season. When you call a play and you know that he's going to be a guy that has to pick up somebody, he's been so sound. What does that mean to you as a quarterback? What does that allow you to do differently?
We don't like each other that much.
How's it going, Shane?
Gotta watch this guy. He asks a lot of trick questions.
Oh, Frank Divers. Oh yeah, man. What's going on, man? How you doing?
How you been? Good.
How's it feel to be sitting up here, man? You talk about this guy being your goal all season long to actually be sitting here. How's it feel? Are you feeling physically? I know you've been battling through some stuff this season and kind of toughing it out, to get to Saturdays. But do you feel like you may be healthier this game than you have in the last couple of weeks?
A lot of time to get my body right.
Was this the same thing you were dealing with last year, or was this a separate ankle sprain? Or?
No, last year I had 2 injuries. I had surgery. This year just still sprain, turf toe, and stuff like that.
Is it the same foot, or?
No, it's opposite.
Is it good or bad then? I guess good is.
I'm bad at stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's what I say more, but it's fine. I'll be fine.
How proud are you of the wide receivers after Matt went out? The way you guys have stepped up, and you guys were challenged, and you guys have obviously stepped up to the challenge.
I don't have a rest. It's crazy. If you would ask me for the season, if we would have been able to do that, they would have believed it because even at the beginning of the season where they just me and Matt, people were questioning about the receiver because only me and Matt. So I think going down, when Matt went down and Chaz and Tom stepping up, it just shows the depth that we have.
We were talking to Grant, and Coach Sanford was saying, hey, after the Air Force game, they said if it doesn't improve, we're going to make a change, and they kind of challenged him and told him that. What have you guys seen from him since that game, and how he's been able to rebound?
I think since that game, he stepped up a lot as a vocal leader, and I think even in his prep, I think he improved his preparation. It's like coming in on the day, he's definitely have to he's in there. Every time he's in there, I go up there, I see him in there. So I think that really changed that a lot. Like I said, the separation.
This offense, I mean, you guys were on such a roll for 8 weeks there, and I know that Fresno game wasn't perfect, but now you have to take 3-4 weeks off. How do you keep the momentum going offensively to get into this game on 31st?
It's just until that practice, and just continue to watch me for the last 8 weeks. That's a great job. He did a good job at practice. So we keep out there, keep in detail, play fast, and just compete. I think we're good.
So you happy for Jay, with his announcement and stuff?
Yeah.
He said, I guess he told the team, that for practice, and Coach Harsin said, unless folks were sleeping under a rock, everybody probably knew it was coming. What was kind of that moment like? I guess how long had you been knowing this was probably going to happen?
If I told you guys how long I would be honest.
Before the season?
Yeah. I mean, I've known for a long time. That's my real base. So I'm really happy for him.
I mean, if he had been thinking about this for a long time, or maybe even decided a long time before he said anything, it's been nice to see him not let that be a distraction or anything, and the way he's been able to keep producing on the field.
I really think that's been a lot of motivation every game. He has to, progress every week. I think he accepted he did complete that challenge that he put on himself.
How impressive is he as a complete running back? I mean, not much he can't do, it doesn't seem.
I don't know if there's anything he can do at the running back spot. It's great to say he's that big. Come out the backfield, some routes, and catch the ball and do all that. I don't know if there's an attack, but I would go back.
How impressive is the pocket square here, buddy?
Jeez, you're kidding me. Getting back to Grant too. I mean, how much did you guys take that upon on yourself, kind of as well? Just the fact that he's a senior QB and he was on the cusp of, I mean, not only losing his job, but maybe losing his career opportunity there.
A lot of things with the Air Force game, it wasn't just on him, it was on us too. Not running around certain proper depths. I feel like us being up there as it gets better, it helps him also. As getting open, that plays the goals. I think all of us as a whole just went out there and prepared better than we did going into that game, and not overlooking it, trying to win it every week rather than just thinking about the West Championship. So I think that really helps all of us.
How much does the Fiesta Bowl mean to Boise State? And when you decided to come here, how big of a part of was that? And how, I guess, does it feel to be a part of, Boise State's history, tradition now that you're in this game?
Well, I was being recruited, and it was down to 2 schools. I just looked at the post games, that they had. Both teams had, and it was Kansas State and Boise State, and they had 2 BCS games. Kansas State didn't have any, in the last 5 years. So I think that played a major role in me coming here. It's really good to be able to go there and have an opportunity to get on.
The trophy, the 2 trophies that are down there in the lobby. I mean, you got a chance to come back in 10 years, with your family and have a trophy there and know that you were a part of that. How much, I guess, you got there is great, but how much do you guys want to finish this thing and really cement your legacy in the history of Boise State football?
It means a lot. Carson always tells us to go out there and want to finish your legacy. I feel like when I'm there to see it, there's our opportunity to do our legacy.
When you look around that football facility, they do a great job of selling their success, but does it ever at any point in time, maybe after a loss, maybe to Air Force, where it drops you to 3-2 on the season, become a burden? Do you have to, trying to live up to those expectations at all?
It could. Just come back to the 1-0 thing. Don't think about the stuff that's going on with the embassy. Let's just go out there with this next game. I think us doing that really kept us focused on the track.
I guess maybe a better way of phrasing that is just the fact that, you look around that building and you see the heights that the program has climbed. Instead of pointing to that and being like, hey, to recruits, this is what we've done, looking at guys like this and saying this is what we are. What does that mean to you guys as current players to, continue to live up to these standards and try to raise the bar?
It means a lot. And for the recruits, it just makes them big on the too. But it's just weird being one of those guys that's actually doing that. I believe I really did. It's just crazy, We're one of those guys. We're one of those teams now that's going to a Fiesta.
Yeah. And finally, what does it feel like to be here? You enjoying yourself? Visio Fiesta.
I'm just enjoying the process. Taking it one day at a time.
What's been like with Coach Sanford and his game planning and him being a first-year coordinator this year? And there was some heat on him after that Air Force game. And how have you seen him kind of grow as a coordinator? And what's it been like, learning from him?
I think that also comes back. I think he did a great job this year. I think that also goes back to the receivers, just doing our job, Grant doing his job. It just comes back to us. The guys actually have to do it. It's just go out and execute. That's what we always preach on the details. Not running around saying 11, at 10, being really detailed. So it always just comes back to that. You teach that being detailed.
I know you said it's kind of weird to be the guy that's living, in the program right now, living out the success, but what does a win mean in a game like this? We've seen that it changes things for players, coaches, everybody when you win games like this.
I think that is just to win the game. So I did that. I guess you can say Merry Christmas.
Cool, man. Thanks a lot. You went home protected?
I did.
Nice. Get some good presents?
Well, I kind of surprised my mom.
Oh, nice. Which part of Texas? Jay wants that Bronco logo on his right there. Was Snyder at K-State there? Was that when Prince was there? Oh, okay. Thanks a lot, man. Save the best for last, right? They don't give us enough time here.
Marcus, talk fast. No, I'm just kidding. How you doing, bud? Oh, nice. The mover just said this. Oh, really? Okay.
Marcus, I guess we'll start with the offensive line as a group. I mean, there was a lot of question marks, I guess, on your group coming into the season. You switching spots, some new guys. How nice is it to be able to have you guys kind of gel the way you have? And how do you think you guys are playing this year?
It's been awesome. Really good terms from the offensive line. Really good I think we've done a really good job. I mean, taking away from Jay.
Grant said he sent you guys a text on the bus after the Ole Miss game. What do you remember about that?
Not to worry. We're close. Yeah, it's pretty much the encouraging text saying I want to get better. He's right.
I'm sure you didn't want to respond. You're quite ticked off. But, I mean, at that moment, to have him say, hey, guys, we're going to have a good season. It's going to be fine or whatever. I mean, what's that say about Grant at that point? And I guess, have you seen his leadership maybe kind of continue on from that point?
I think I should be able to respond to that one and say, like, we're sorry to come in. We love each other on this team. I'm definitely great. He's a guy that just on the offensive line, on blocking
What about even from a character level? I mean, for a guy that goes out and throws a few interceptions to come in, send you a text that he's the one that's saying everything's going to be okay. From a character standpoint, what does that mean?
Grant's obviously an awesome guy. Another good friend of mine, but it was really good seeing that. I mean, I took accountability for it. Obviously, it was all of it. By any means, but I'm trying to take responsibility for that. That's awesome.
What does this festival mean to you in this program, and what does it mean to be here and the chance to win another one?
It means a lot. This was kind of our goal. Just come there as freshmen, like this is where we wanted to be.
How prepared are you for this game? Mike said that he feels like this team is prepared for any game that that you guys have ever played before. Do you feel like you have confidence going into this thing, or why were you guys able to prepare so well?
I just think we're all focused. I don't know if you talked to everyone about last week's practice, but we had a great week of practice. That intensity and that focus, and I think we're prepared.
What kind of challenge is the Arizona defense going to be for you guys?
They play really hard. Really good for decent unit. Stevie Rat's obviously a great player, makes a lot of plays. That's going to be a challenge.
Had more, but they're cutting us off.
There'll be more opportunities.
Well, slotted in there.